This week's diabolical diminished lick is hotter than Yngwie's honeymoon. Scope it out. Greetings, Suckamaniacs, and welcome to another edition of Weekend Wankshop here with your old pal, Uncle Ben, aka the Jesus of Ibanez. I made that up myself. Today we're going to be checking out a sick diminished lick straight from the bowels of all eternal hell. This one's a lot of fun and features some sliding around the fretboard, some hammer-ons and pull-offs, a little bit of that swoop picking that the kids love to do these days. All kinds of good stuff. It doesn't matter if you're using diminished chords or arpeggios in a classical piece, a jazz standard, or even a shredding heavy metal solo. If you know how to work a few diminished licks across the fretboard, you're going to be on the fast track to becoming the heavyweight champion of your local guitar center. Yeah, first let's spend a second here and talk about what a diminished chord actually is, because there's a lot of confusion among that with guitar players. Here's what the deal is. You start with a note, like let's say this F note here, first fret high E string. You play the note 3 frets above it. That's an interval of a minor third for you musos out there. Then you play the note 3 frets above that one. Again, a minor third. Then you play the note 3 frets above that one. And then if you go up 3 more frets, you're back at where you started, only an octave higher at that F note. So again, it's taking a note, the one a minor third above it, the one a minor third above it, and the one a minor third above it. Every step in this chord or arpeggio here is symmetrical. It's all just the same shape moving up in 3 fret intervals all the time. As guitar players, we can really take advantage of this because if you know one diminished pattern, that means I can just move that up 3 frets, 3 frets again, 3 frets again, and so on. It's like that with any diminished lick or even any diminished chord sequence. That's how you get those dastardly villain with a handlebar mustache tying a woman to the train tracks sound in those old silent flicks. But before we start shredding into this tasty lick, let's hear it again, this time at stepdad speed. Alright children, so like I said, if you know one cool diminished lick, you can move that around in 3 fret intervals, and it'll keep recycling the same notes that you began with in different orders. So diminished arpeggios are really great for the guitar because it's visually and physically the exact same pattern, just moving up and down in 3 fret intervals. So if you got one little diminished arpeggio that you like, you can move it up and down all over the place as long as you stick in those minor thirds. It'll sound super sick, and you'll probably make money off of it. Here's the pattern that I'm using for this lick, and what I'm going to do here is show you the basic idea of how I'm playing it, kind of the first fragment of the lick, because every other section just kind of repeats the same thing. It just starts in a different area of the board. So here's the arpeggio pattern I'm using. This would be like a B diminished arpeggio. Could be a D diminished or an F diminished or a G sharp diminished too, but whatever. Here's what I'm using. That's 4th fret G, 3rd fret B, 1st fret high E, 4th fret high E. Again, that constitutes a fully diminished arpeggio right there. Everything I'm going to be playing is just using this one fingerboard pattern. There's not going to be any fingerboard patterns that change, just the location is going to change. But everything's going to feel like some mutation of that shape. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off here on the F note on the 1st fret high E string. I'm going to do a little hammer-on pull-off with that 4th fret. After that, what I'm going to do is to descend down the arpeggio. So 3rd fret B, 4th fret G. So that was... After this note, slide up 3 frets into the next position of this diminished arpeggio and ascend the arpeggio pattern. So again, it's the exact same fingerboard pattern. It's just at the 4th position instead of the 1st position now. So here's what we got so far. Slide up. After this, slide up again and descend the arpeggio. Okay, so far I start with hammer and pull off, slid up, ascend, slide up, descend, slide down, and then ascend. I'll do it one more time. Hammer and pull off, descend, slide up, ascend, slide up, descend, slide down, ascend. Now from there, what you're going to do is do the exact same lick again, but starting in the 4th position instead, like this. Hammer and pull off, descend, slide up, ascend, slide up, descend, slide down, ascend. There you go. So it's the exact same lick, I just started here instead of here. But like I said, because of the symmetrical nature of any diminished chord or arpeggio, it's the exact same set of notes that I played down here. There's no new notes or anything that have been added in. Everything we've done has either been B, D, F, or G sharp. Even in these positions, all the same notes. Okay, so now we got this. Part 2. After this, play part 3, starting here from fret number 7. Same lick. Hammer and pull off, descend, slide up, ascend, slide up, descend, slide down, ascend. So now this very last part of the lick is going to be a little different. It's a little bit shorter. Check this out. So what I did right here is I did hammer on pull off, descend, starting from the 10th position, I should say. Slid up, ascend, and then I just immediately go up and grab this B note here, which is 3 frets up from where I was at. Again, that's kind of the motif of this whole thing, is move up 3 frets. But I ended there on fret number 19 on the high E string on the note B. So the whole thing is going to be like this. First section, starting 1st position. Same lick starting from 4th position. Same lick starting from 7th position. And the slightly shorter lick starting from the 10th position. Ending on that B note up there. Boom shakalaka. Now as for the usage for a diminished lick like what we're talking about today, there's a few obvious choices. You could use it against F diminished, G sharp diminished, B diminished, or D diminished. Those would be kind of the obvious choices of matching the arpeggio with the chord that's being played against it, and that's cool, that works really well. But another option I think you should explore is one that my main man Emil Wurzler put out in front of me a little while back. Emil played guitar in Chimera and Doth and Levy Wurzler. Awesome dude, phenomenal guitar player. But a cool trick he showed me a couple years back is to take any dominant 7 chord, like an E7, and playing diminished a half step above it. So in other words, you'd have an E7 chord with F diminished above it. It's a really, really tense sound, and it's cool, especially if that E7 is fixing to resolve to an A minor. You can have the sound of like E7 with diminished over it. Then it would go to A minor. It's that tension and resolve kind of thing. It's a really cool flavor that I hadn't explored until Emil put that out for me. So again, anytime you have a dominant chord, like let's say a G7, go up a half step and put diminished right there. You'll get some really cool sounds out of that. It's very, very tense. It's kind of an acquired taste, but once you get to know how it sounds, it's really cool. So mess around with that a little bit. Dingus. An important thing I want you to take from this lesson, though, is the fact that anytime you have any diminished lick, you can move up or down, either direction, 3 frets, either way, off of any note in any of these diminished patterns. So that means if I was using the one that we were doing today and I wanted to come up off of the B string right here in fret number 3, I'm totally able to do that. I can move up 3 frets, start my diminished pattern again. 3 frets again. I can go down off of it, down off of that, up off of this, up off of this, down off of that, and so on. Again, you can always move 3 frets in either direction off of any diminished pattern that you know. So it's really cool to get to know how to use those so you can travel the fretboard and make friends. So there you have it, Suckamaniacs. A lick hotter than that UTI your mom picked up on Yngwie Malmsteen's tour bus in 1987. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Stay tuned for more Weekend Wankshops. And don't forget to hit me up, benellerguitars@gmail.com, for some one-on-one Skype lessons. I'm going to teach you how to theory, how to scale, how to mode, and how to be awesome. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.